Alright, this is our motorized bike. Well, it's my motorized bike. You just like to pretend that it's yours on the weekends. Alright, so he just destroyed the chain with well, not destroyed, he maintained it with WD-40. I was really sick of these stupid, dumb bolts on the end going loose, so we just decked them out with pipe thread sealant, and then we just want to see how well this would work. We put ABS weld on those. So I don't think those are coming loose again. I mean, it's better than Loctite for sure. I don't even buy Loctite. I'm too cheap for that kind of stuff. Alright, so I'll show you the modifications. We put these awesome looking Honda stickers everywhere. Isn't that hilarious? I actually tricked the guy that this was a Honda motor. Then I of course, I told him that it wasn't. I said, this is a screaming Chinese motor. Straight from China. I got this for $100. Gas tank, this, throttle, everything. Everything on here was for $100, and the bike was free. Got it from my grandpa, 30 years old. I mean, it's fine. This frame was perfect. I didn't even have to use the universal mount. I just put that on there. So then for fun, I could say my motor is partially held on by a zip tie, even though it isn't. But I tricked a kid that the whole thing was held on by a zip tie. That was pretty funny.
Holy performance.
Yeah. That zip ties, you save so much weight by using them. Okay. So I think the stickers look hilarious, but you guys don't care about that. Who cares about the stickers? We want to know the performance. Oh yeah, I switched out the gas line too, but who cares about that either? Okay, so I switched out the spark plug for an NGK, and this spark plug looks way better already, because I didn't really like a spark plug that has a name that I can't even pronounce. What is that, like Jangalangaying? Oh, I know what this is. It's got to be the spark plug that they want you to use during Christmas. Maybe, those Chinese guys never spell anything right. Maybe they just meant to say jingle bells, but they said jingaying. I don't know. If any of you guys know how to say that in the comments, tell me. I would really like that. Okay, so I think that seems like an obvious upgrade. This thing already runs way better with a new spark plug. It doesn't sound like a piece of crap. And also sounds better with that exhaust for sure. The exhaust really changed the sound of it. At the end of the video, you guys will get to hear what it sounds like. You'll get to see some of the speed. Top speed of this thing is around 35, somewhere around there. It's pretty peppy, fairly peppy. I've done a wheelie with it. This thing has been in 2 wrecks. It's been in 250 miles total. You'll see that by the title. And I'd say 75 to 100 of those miles are all off-road. What are you doing? Quit making all the noise back there. Yes, 75 to 100 miles are off-road. We took this thing through water. And like I said, I've wrecked it twice. Actually, the wreck was pretty recent. But, I mean, I think I should be just fine. It was way minor. I've been in way worse dirt bike and four-wheeler wrecks. That was nothing. So, yeah, it's super light, super fun, off-road, even though most of you guys wouldn't think it. The suspension is absolute garbage. I got it off of a bike from the dump, but it's better than straight forks with no suspension. It bottoms out when you go over a rock that's freaking like that big. I'm not joking. You go over a rock like 20 miles an hour on this thing and you bottom out your forks. We took this out to the desert. It did fine. It was just underpowered. Alright. Oh yeah, I forgot to put on the chain tensioner when I built it. I didn't have a reason to. I just decided I wanted to put it on there. So if the chain did fly off, it wouldn't destroy my leg. There's my throttle. This thing has probably been through maybe, I don't know, maybe like 50 engine cycles or more. I don't keep track. I've just kept track of the total mileage with my Garmin GPS Vivo Active 3. So yeah, it does use GPS. I'm not a jokester here. Okay, here's the carburetor. Modifications of the carburetor. Well, this is just for protection of it. This keeps mud from flying at it. This keeps crap from getting into the airbox. I modified the air filter, because let me show you what the stock air filter looks like. If any of you guys haven't swapped out your stock air filter, you've got to. This is the worst air filter I've ever seen in my life. You may as well just have no air filter in there, because the holes are about that big anyway. That's not filtering out anything else besides this. So I got part of a vacuum air filter. Me and my brother are decked out with those because we service like 100 different vacuums. We own so many vacuums, have all kinds of spare parts. It's our part-time job, pretty much. Yeah, you can see the vacuum air filter fiber sticking out. It's a high-quality filter. It does a way better job. and the carburetor's just a little dirty from taking this thing through mud and water. Engine is too. And I haven't had any problems. Wait, I did have a problem, and it was my fault. I took off the whole air box, and I made it so it would get way more air, and then it got too much air, so I'd have to get a bigger jet, and obviously I'm too cheap for that, so I just put the air box back on and pretended nothing happened. Oh, you guys probably want to see this. This is my saddle bag. It's my handlebar bag. Those are a bunch of chain pieces, spare parts, you know, because you gotta have spare parts when you're on a motorized bike. You never know what's gonna go wrong. Yeah, I have a spare spark plug in the bag. I don't know why that air filter's in there. Even if I did lose my other air filters, I wouldn't use that piece of junk. All right. So in the saddle bag, actually I don't even need that. I haven't looked through this since I built the bike. A granola bar. I don't think I'd want to eat that because it's sitting right next to my two-stroke oil. So this says there's 2.6 ounces, but I just filled it up all the way to the top. I think it says 3 in there. Well, I can't read that. I think it's enough that this would treat up to a gallon and make it be like 32 to 1. And back there's a little bit of money and a couple Band-Aids. Because I had a little bit of extra room. Then there's a bottom pouch that, can I get that open with one hand? I might need your help over here. No, I'm just kidding. Keep working on your weed eater. Okay, there's a normal wrench. There's a couple more Band-Aids. Jeez, there's a lot of Band-Aids in here. This came off my normal bike. And there's more Band-Aids. Holy crap. This multi-tool thing, because, you know, gotta have that. Yeah, I know, I get it, but this is more important. Then there's a crescent wrench that's a 6-inch, up to 6-inch. So there you go on the saddlebag. I mean, if you want to, you can put the same stuff in there. I don't know, that's just because I had extra space to put things. And the fuel, I'm running this thing 32 to 1 currently. I broke it in with a 20 to 1 mix. So there's your fuel in there. It's got a good amount. And this thing is pretty efficient. I've only had to fill it up, like 3 times in 250 miles. That's including braking. And yeah, 32 to 1 after I broke it in. And I've heard a lot of people say 32 to 1 is the best. And I'm probably going to run that for life in this thing. Yeah, and I would recommend if you did get the chain guard, yeah, you should probably put the chain guard on. Because if it whips off and hits your leg, then you'd be messed up. Yep, my clutch is working great with quite a bit of adjustment over time to get it perfect. My idle's perfect. I've ran this thing at freezing cold weather, 32 degrees. I've ran it in super hot weather, like 100 degrees. Like I said, it's been through water, been off-road, been through sand, been through mud. It's been through a lot. But she's holding up great. Besides that one problem with the air box, there was a user error. Everything seems to be working just fine.
Put a new spark plug on.
Yeah, it's a new spark plug. Alright, now we'll go over the exhaust. It has a brand spanking new banana pipe exhaust. I had to modify my pedal so it wouldn't whack it. And I also had to take off part of the tip so it wouldn't sever my gear line. Oh yeah, and take a look at this stupid looking stock exhaust. How you can watch a video on why not to take off your tip. I'm not going to explain that again. There is a video on that. But this exhaust is a horrible design. Just a horrible, horrible design. It sticks straight down. It's going to get bashed by a rock, and it did get hit by a rock. Stupid design. And there's no expansion chamber. Stupid. And, you know, that's why the exhaust looks like a pregnant snake. Well, this one doesn't look as much like a pregnant snake as the other ones. An expansion chamber pretty much forces the fuel back into the cylinder, because as you may know, two-strokes don't have valves. I mean, where would you put those at? They're a lot simpler, and I do like working on them a lot more. Yeah, that's why I don't like working on that dumb purple four-wheeler, 4-stroke. Alright, so this exhaust, it goes down, and then it kind of forces itself back up into the cylinder, and that's another reason why two-strokes just aren't as efficient, because you're always going to have a little bit of unburnt fuel come out. Look, I'll put my finger right there. Yeah, look, there's even a couple drips. Yep, that's just it. Also, because this isn't a huge expansion chamber, this is a pretty cheapo expansion chamber. I could get a bigger one, but that's like $70 for an exhaust pipe for an engine that probably costs less than $30 to replace. Alright, so you can check out the mods and think, hey, maybe I should do this to mine. Has your guys' engines lasted this long. Have you had an engine last longer than 250 miles? Have any of you guys like last longer than 1,000? Have you guys been in wrecks? Have they held up well in your wrecks? This held up just fine in the wreck. Oh, I mean, look at the clutch cable, that's a little scratched up. Yeah, but otherwise, this thing looks great. I like it. I like it a lot. It's a lot of fun to ride. It's my commuter. I actually rode it to my piano lessons today, passed a bunch of tractors and stuff on the way there. It's fun. It's a lot of fun to ride one of these. Also, when I first built this, the front wheel was way out of trim. Like, it needed to be trued so bad, so I had to buy a sprocket, or not a sprocket, a rear wheel spoke tool to tighten those up and get them back into shape. Now this thing's ready to go. Alright, what do you guys think? Tell me in the comments. Go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.